Welcome to Griddle Cooking with Chef Sherry Ronning. How are you guys doing today? It's been a few days. I took a little bit of time off and then I did a video over the weekend, and so I am back and we are making fresh asparagus today on the griddle. So I'm doing something new that I haven't done before, and I am gonna kind of do the pasta sauce on the griddle. It's not that bad. It's kind of warm outside, but it's been raining all day today, and it's just kind of ucky, and the wind is kind of blowing a little bit. So I'm inside cooking on the electric Blackstone griddle, and I'm just going to cook up some fresh asparagus. I'm going to show you how I do it, and I'm going to make some pasta, some noodles, and some pasta sauce. We're going to do that on the griddle. So let's get started. This is something that it's kind of new. I mean, I've made obviously pasta and I made the sauce and all that. I have the griddle preheated at 350, and I am going to use the metal bowl. I'm just going to do a single serving size. I'm here by myself, so I'm just going to be doing this. So I'm going to do the asparagus on the one side, and I'm actually going to heat the pasta sauce on the other side. And I'm going to just kind of show you how I do that. So we got this. We were up in Traverse and got this at Sam's. And so it's the Dalalo. I have a horrible time pronouncing this. And we love this product. This is the dipping the garlic in Parmesan olive oil that I talk about, that I use all the time. And so this is something, we haven't tried this before. I've seen this, but I haven't tried this. We've tried their pasta sauces and we really like them, but this is a creamy vodka sauce. So, hi Dan, how are you? Awesome to see you again. So I'm just gonna pour just basically like a serving size in here. I'm not gonna pour a lot. And I'm gonna kind of just experiment with this and see how I like it. So this is another example of using a pot or a pan on the griddle, which I've done before. I love doing. I've actually made my homemade Alfredo sauce that I have the recipe for. And I love that. I'll do that. I'll cook the chicken and I'll cook the broccoli up. I'll have the pasta done on the side and make it all up on the griddle. I've done it on the outside griddle during the summertime, and it turns out perfect. And I also like to do my stir fry in a pan like this. And I have all kinds of reasons why I like to do it versus doing it directly on the griddle. So you can watch my video on that one. I explain different things. Go and watch the chicken stir fry or the chicken Alfredo, which uses the pans on the stove. So one thing which I've cautioned before, make sure when you're using the pans, this will get hot. You use the metal one. I'm using a flat bottom, and you can use any kind of metal pan that you want. And this is just a thin one. So let's see what we're doing. Pasta. I want to get my pasta going. So I did leave my watch on, and I want to explain why I did. So I have my water boiling, it's salted. So this is the pasta that I'm doing. It's the same brand. We have not tried this yet. So as I explained before, my husband loves this garlic Parmesan olive oil dipping sauce. And a lot of times we can't find this in our local stores. I mean, we've literally searched all over in our area, and it's so popular that they sell out of it a lot. And so he's actually ordered twice from the company, and he's ordered different stuff from them directly from the company. I think they have like a minimum $75 order, and everything we've gotten, we've really liked. And so this is one that he had gotten from that $75 order, the last one, and we haven't tried it yet. So this is all new. Something different that I'm going to do, but it's the little tortellinis, and it's a 3-cheese tortellini. So we're going to just give this a try. I'm just following the directions on the back. The direction just say 3 quarts of water, bring it to a boil, you have the salt in it. So I have it boiling gently. I'm just going to pour this in, give it a little stir, And it just says to boil gently. Don't. So we're going to have to keep an eye on this. So if I get distracted, if you see it kind of boiling in the background, remind me to check my pasta, because sometimes I might get talking. But the reason I was telling you about my watch, so set timer for 14 minutes.
Timers can be set for a time per day.
Set timer for 14 minutes.
14 minutes. Counting down.
That's one thing that I love about this watch, is setting timers. And it is so, I do it all the time, especially when I'm cooking. And it has actually made my life so much easier. So let's talk about the asparagus. Asparagus isn't quite in around here, but when I went to the store the other day, they had this asparagus, and I had to get some because I love asparagus. I don't know, my husband will eat it. He's, over the years, it's grown on him. But it's something that I grew up with and I really like. I actually have family that grows this. And so I will go to their farm stand, or like I'll have family bring me some, and I just love it. So I got a lot here, so I'm not gonna do all of it because this is quite a bit. So I rinsed it off already. It's already been rinsed. I have it sitting on the paper towel. But as you see, I have small ones. That's one thing that I like to do, is I like to get the smaller ones versus the real thick ones like this, or thicker, because the smaller ones are tender. I like super tender. I like to just bite into it. I don't like the stringiness of it. And so I like when I'm searching for asparagus in a store or in the farm stand, I try to go for the smallest ones that I can find. And so technically you're supposed to go like that and cut it where it snaps, and then you toss this out. So I'm going to just kind of use that as a guide. And I'm just going to use my knife instead of snapping every one of them, and just cut like that and throw that away. And so I'm going to do this with a pasta. I'm going to add it together with the pasta. I'm going to just stir this, just give it a gentle stir. It's not really, it's a low boil, which is what we want. And so instead of cooking it whole like this, I am going to cut it up in pieces and cook it that way. So then when I serve it with my pasta, I have basically bite-sized pieces, and I'm not trying to cut it on the plate. I'm not trying to mess with it and stuff. And so for me, you can cook this however you want, but that's just how I'm going to cook it. So I'm just doing like that. And so they're, maybe, what are we at? Like 1.5 inch pieces maybe. So not, you can go 1 inch, 1.5 inches. And this is plenty asparagus for me. I'll probably have some for my husband. Maybe he'll eat some, he might not. It just all depends. He'll come home and he'll probably just try it and see if he likes it. And Dan says, so you make Dan said, oh, I'm going to try this, Dan. I think, yes, I did it. Yay. So Dan says that he will do it on the Blackstone with a little oil and sea salt. So that's what I've done. I've done this in the smoker, and I absolutely love it. We'll do like a sheet of foil and do the olive oil. We'll do like the mixture of this and just put it on the smoker if we're smoking meats and stuff. I'm going to, today I'm not going to use this because I want to use a little bit of butter. So I'm going to do a little bit of olive oil and butter mixed. So it's going to give you just a little bit different flavor. So I'm adding my oil, just plain olive oil, and then I just have the seasoned butter. So you can make your own seasoned butter. You can use plain butter, however you would like. So I'm just going to add this to the oil. You hear that sizzle, nice sizzle, which is what you want. Go like that. and they're gonna want to take off on you. So I'm gonna try to keep the asparagus on this one side, and we're gonna cook like that. And let's see. So I'm going to add the butter, and I don't want to do too soon. You know, sometimes butter will burn. I'm going to go with it because it's mixed in with the olive oil, so we should be okay. So this is a garlic and herb butter that I'm using. And as I said, you can just use plain. Let me get this off the screen now. Sorry. I'm loving that I figured out how to put the comments on the screen, but now I got to remember to take them off. That is sometimes I get talking and forget that I'm doing stuff like that. So we're going to put that on there. I'm going to remove this because I'm not using this right now. So I'm going to add just some ground pepper to this and the salt on there. And you could probably use a dome lid on this. I have the pasta cooking over here, so if we're using the whole lid, it's not going to work for this. I could use the small one, but I'm just going to kind of just go with it, and I'm going to just see. My pasta sauce is warming up. It's not, you might think that it might take a long time to do it this way, but if you're already cooking on the griddle, especially if you're using the outside griddle, then you might want to, I like to use the whole thing, and I have not tried cooking pasta though on the griddle. That's one thing that sometime I'm going to try that, where you actually take and boil the water. But it's something that I haven't done. I don't know, have you guys ever tried boiling the water and doing the pasta out on the griddle? I don't know if I've ever even seen videos of anybody doing it. I don't know if anybody would want to, but if you're out camping and sometimes you pretty much have to do everything on the griddle, it's just nice to be able to know that that's kind of an option. And so I'm just gently stirring this. I can see the asparagus is kind of turning a little bit color, so it's cooking. But you want to just cook this till it's tender. You don't want to overcook it. And I don't think it's going to take too long to do. With cutting it up into smaller pieces, it's going to cook faster also. And as you see what I'm doing, I am using this to flatten and try to get a single layer of the asparagus, and trying to get it so that pretty much each piece has contact with the griddle. So it's cooking, and because if you have a big mound of it, the top is not going to cook. It'll maybe steam cook, but the bottom will get done before the top will. This I want to cook all even, so I'm just kind of making sure to spread it out, and we're just going to leave it. Remember, don't fuss with it. Just kind of let it cook and do its thing. And as you see, I'm stirring the sauce every now and then because you don't want the sauce to burn either. We're just going to... I think this is going to turn out really good. So I'm not sure with the creamy sauce like that, should I take and mix the asparagus with, because I'm going to take the pasta and I'm going to mix it in here before I put it on the plate. Should I serve the asparagus on the side, or do you think I should mix it all in? I'm not quite sure on that one yet. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm undecided on that, but Dan says, congratulations on getting the technology. There's still a lot that I need to know about this, but we're doing it. One session at a time, I'm trying to learn something new. So, yay, let's see. I'm going to check my pasta. Let's see how... My watch will tell me how long what we have. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. And just stir it up just a little bit like that. Have you guys ever made this brand of pasta? I know we've done like the frozen. We will buy the, we used to get from Swan's, we used to get the frozen tortellinis like that we really like. We actually will get the, what do you call it? The fresh stuff that's in the pack. I'm not even sure what the name of it is. Bertelli's or something like that. We will get that, the cheese tortellini, which I think they use that, the tortellini for Todd's tortellini that they, well, I actually think they use the frozen too. That's one recipe that I have not made that I really want to do. So I'm going to have to branch out and give Todd's tortellini recipe a try. And it's something that's been on my to-do list, and I just have not done it yet. So let's see. Dan says his vote is on the side. So I think we will do the side. I'm thinking maybe, yeah. I'm eating the small pieces so that, or like the top parts of them. There's still a little bit of, what do you call it? Crispiness to it, but, they're cooking good. The garlic, I can have that garlic flavor to them. And so, other things that you can make with this. This is, I posted that I was going to give you tips to make with asparagus. I make the garlic butter chicken, which would be awesome with this. So you could use the same thing, and you can make either the chicken breast, or I like to just cut them in strips and cook them really quick on here. That would be good to have with the asparagus. You can also do the butter steaks are really good. The pork chops, I did that not too long ago. The pork chops or pork steaks or whatever are really good on the griddle. What else? What else would be good? I'm trying to think like what you could mix. Like if you do the Alfredo sauce, I would actually probably mix that in with there. Instead of like doing broccoli, you could do the asparagus and mix that in, which would be really good. All right. How long? I'm going to just try this just to see. We're going to check the temperature on it. It's still boiling low. And that's one thing. Sometimes I can get my watch. I'm still learning my watch. I haven't had it. I've had it for almost a year, I think, but I'm still learning a lot with it. Like I'm doing with the computer. I learn on the computer all the time. Yeah, that's pretty good. I would say that it's about ready. So as you guys notice, I'm cooking this low. We're cooking it low and slow. You don't want to turn it up high, and you don't want it to be all crispy burnt. I mean, you can turn it up and get it charred if you want. It is getting a little bit golden brown. The butter is turning brown on it. But it's not like burning it. So I'm going to try like a thicker piece. So one thing when you're cooking like this, you want to test it to see what it tastes like. Don't just say, oh, it looks good and take it off. Try it before you take it off to make sure it's that it's not too done or it's not overdone or, it's. That's a little bit crisp, but it's tender, so it really melts in your mouth. It's not, there goes my timer, so it's been 14 minutes. I am going to spread this out a little bit. My sauce is actually boiling. I've got just a little bit of boil to it, so I know the sauce is hot. So we've got that cooking there. And I'm gonna pull. I'm gonna shut this off. And I have my strainer. I have just the strainer, and I have a plate underneath of it to catch all the drippings. You can pour this out if you want. I'm just gonna just dip it. Just go like this. I've got my slotted spoon, and I'm just gonna do this really quick. Like that. I have my pasta. Look how yummy that is. I have my water reserved, so if I want to use any water, I can. But I'm actually going to take some of the pasta and put in here in the sauce, and then I'm going to stir that up like that. And so another thing that I did was I had some of this small, I like to buy this small toast or bread for just Italian bread I get for $1 at the store. And so I had some that I wanted to use up, so I just put butter on it. You can put like garlic butter if you want, or garlic seasoning on with the butter. I'm just gonna toast a couple up and serve with this. So that's one good thing about having the griddle. You can make a couple different things like that. There we go. Yeah, that looks good. So I do have, I'm going to add a little bit more because I have more pasta or I have more sauce than the pasta here. So I want to make sure that it's balanced. That's one thing that you want to do. So I know my sauce is hot. I know the pasta is hot. So I know that that's hot and it doesn't need to stay on for too long. So I'm going to pull it. I don't want to overcook it. We're actually going to pull the asparagus. I am going to get this. Make sure that it's not hot. You don't want to burn yourself. So I'm just going to put that, and I'm going to put it maybe a little bit off to the side there. Like that. And then I'm going to add my asparagus to it. Man, oh man. There we go, like that. And I'm going to make sure that this, make sure that that doesn't burn. But I'm going to save this here and just set this on the side. So I will either eat this later, warm this up later, or you know, we'll see on that. Oh, this is so good! I know this is gonna be so good. Where am I gonna put this? So I just wanna check this toast. I probably should have started the toast earlier, but one thing that I like to add to this, going like this, is just a little bit of fresh Parmesan. So I have a piece of Parmesan that I bought. You can buy pre-shredded if you want. And, you know, it's kind of up to you if you want to do this. I actually probably should have did this ahead of time. So I like to I'm gonna grab a plate like this. And I'm gonna do it on the plate, and then I will do it. I mean, I used to have like the hand thing and do that, but I don't anymore. So I am just going to go on the plate and do a little bit. You're not going to need a lot, like that. And then we're just going to sprinkle that over the top. Check my toast here to make sure we're doing good. Yeah, we got a little bit. So one thing, it's crispy around the edge, but not so much in the middle. And it's got a little bit of color to it, but not a lot. And it helps to press down just a little bit. So that's one thing with bread, is sometimes it'll do that. I like to have the whole thing crispy, but sometimes it just doesn't work out like that. Okay, so I am going to add just a little bit of Parmesan like that to the top. And I'm actually going to add some to the asparagus too. Just like that. So, let's see what the time is. Yeah, in less than a half an hour, 25 minutes. I talked for a little bit at the beginning. Look at how amazing that looks. Meal, pasta with the tomato sauce, the creamy vodka sauce, and fresh asparagus. That is so delicious. I mean, just, oh, it's so, I can't wait to dive into it. But I need to take a picture of it first before I do that. And we've got the toast here on the side. Still, it's going to take just a little bit longer on that. And do you guys have any questions? Ask me anything. You know, if you have anything you want to talk about, and right now is a good time to ask. Thank you. Dan says, nice presentation. Yeah, I think it turned out really good. I'm happy with it. I'm sure it's going to taste amazing. We were kind of unsure about the vodka sauce, if we were going to like it, but I actually snuck a little sample of it before I started, and yeah, I think we're going to like it. It's going to be fine. We're very simple. We don't like a lot of fluff, the fanciness, a lot of added extra herbs and stuff, and sometimes it's like you get that and you just never know, but that looks amazing. Let's see, what else? I didn't get close up. We still got a little bit of color there. Ooh, look at that. Little bit of toasted, not quite. I'm gonna turn that back over, try to get that side. And as you see, I'm gonna like poke down just a little bit in the center to try to get that. It might not, but you just never know. It might get a little bit toasted on that side. So, one thing I want to talk about, my cookbook. Dan has my cookbook. Have you been cooking stuff in the cookbook? What do you think? Is it, this is a new recipe. So I do have vegetables, different sauteed vegetables in this, but you can go to my website, FromMichiganToTheTable.com, and if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see the picture of the book. You can order it through there. I have a Sherry Shop on the top if you click the button on the top, or you can go scroll, or if you're looking on mobile, there's the 3 lines. You click that and you'll be able to see it there. And you can go to mygriddlesecrets.com also. I have different stuff. I have my course there. I have the digital cookbook, the printed cookbook, the My Griddle Secrets course. I have, like, if you want to work one-on-one with me, if you want to do some like Zoom calls and do a special event or something like that, like a cook with me, a date night, cook with me kind of a thing, that I have available on there. I think I have, something else I wanted to talk about was my, Dan says that he likes the cookbook. Yeah, I've had quite a few people that have bought, like, they had the digital version before I had the printed version out, and they really like the printed version to be able to physically hold it and, use it that way. So it just all depends. I know the younger generation, my kids like the digital version better because when they go to the store, they can have it on their phone. They can pull up the recipe at the grocery store and look to see that we need this for a recipe if they want like fried rice or something. And they can actually pull it up and get the ingredients to make sure that when they come home that they have that to be able to use. So it's kind of all on your own, depends on what you like. So I'm actually going to shut the griddle off because we're done. I'm pretty sure that this is, look at that. Nice and toasted there. We got nice and toasty. Just going to set that like that. Like that. And there you go. But I wanted to thank everybody for subscribing to my YouTube channel. And I have over 1,000 on that, like, I can't remember, 1,030 something. And then I have my watch hours. So I really need you guys to go watch some videos. Like if you get done with this, go watch more of my YouTube videos. I'm just a little over 600 hours away from achieving my next goal with YouTube. So anything you can watch, if you want to put it on autopilot. I know I have a few people that are just like putting it on in the background, or they have their phone and they're working on their computer and doing it that way, watching it while they're doing other things. Anything that you could do, I'd really appreciate it to get me to that goal. I was hoping to have achieved that by now, but you know, it's a work in progress. So I've had quite a few people looking and commenting on different stuff. So I really appreciate your support. I appreciate Dan for watching. Dan has watched quite a few of my videos. I would say probably the majority of them, maybe. And he's on almost every time. I really appreciate you watching. And I appreciate another thing I wanted to talk about. So Kathy McBride, the last video, we talked about the griddle and about how not to use cooking spray on it, and about how her owner's manual said not to do it. My owner's manual didn't mention anything about cooking spray. And one thing that she brought up was that maybe they changed the top, the porcelain top on there, and that's why they're suggesting not to use it, which is a good possibility. So I never thought of that. I'm glad she's communicating back and forth with me, and that it's like it makes sense, you know. So maybe her top is different than my top, because mine I've had for several years now. I enjoy cooking on it. It's worked out good for me. So you know, I hope you guys have a great evening, and we will see you tomorrow. I guess I've got everything I need to say. So you guys have a great evening, and enjoy your fresh asparagus, which should be coming in. Depending on where you're at, it might already be in season already. So Michigan, it's not quite. I don't believe it's in yet, but I'm going to enjoy this one that we did get in, and I hope you guys have a great evening. Bye.